Any views, thoughts, and opinions expressed by the host and guests in this video do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, policies, or position of the Commissione Fine CHamoru or its management.
The Atrasåsao project, brought to you by the Commissione Fine CHamoru, is partially paid for by the Office of the Governor through the Educational Stabilization Fund, grant number S425H21004.
Siña sogui, hafamalagomu, vanedzaki fino, CHamoru. Mungana mamalo, alasi finomu, tagi talu ifinomu. Nalola ipengamu, nui famaguonmu, vanedzaki fino, CHamoru. Atrasåsao, Siña.
Hafeday van lahalom nu estina programmen Atrasåsao, Siña. Qual si da kota kamatu dan gayu guini gi halami Commissione Fine CHamoru za malagu na kombida estina tau I maula na tau si Shana Guzman.
Hafeday.
Hafeday lahalom. Kusinun sangani siya hadina anmo dan hafun sotui pak guna tempo.
Sure. Si Shana Guzman jo matoto gi business mommy, international distributors IDI in bebendi fruta dan golay dan ocho na klase nengkno.
Wow. Hadi familiamo?
Si Tatal, si Frank Defunto, si Frank Cepeda Guzman, familia Kokra and Guzman hat, Tima Fatnan. Si Nanao, si Annie Manabusan Palomo, familia Lili, and familia Sam.
Wow. Sentata manu hamza?
Staba zu gida mokfuk. Si Nanao gagagya.
Ko mafanui how I Fine CHamoru and Pakgun how?
He lo sinyo hungo gi urizao. Lo ti they weren't speaking to me, right? Lo it was always around sat sinano biha bisinon mommy was bula bisitanya I familia, right? Was sinyo hungo tori tiempo I lenguaje.
Wow, lo pago Fine CHamoru how? Hafata manu na mama I Fine CHamoru how?
Staba jo gi lagu gi kuleo.
Oh.
Giza San Francisco, California. The bula mangat songmu mafaisin jo say something in CHamoru, you know? The edu na tiempo respond half a day, todo maulik, you know? Fat doggin, malagumumu.
Ungan todo siya na klase.
Yeah. Lo palabra hat, ti sinangin, and even a lot of words I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Pues mampus mamalaw zo.
Pues hafata manu tu like edzo?
I guess I started having kids.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I always tried when I'd come back, para summer vacation, but Christmas break, utsuli class GUOG, right? CHamoru 101 with Rosa Palomo. Then in adulthood, I was already married, and we'd go take at the commission. It was si Anne-Marie Blas at the time and Ron Laguatnya, and that was like 10 years apart, right? And then 10 years after that, I found Harao. Usod da Harao.
Okay.
The Dahui immersion program.
Okay.
For me, it's the best way for me to learn. It's the same way we learned English, right? But immersion is for me. Immersion is for me.
Okay. Do you know how the program in Sinipo, immersion program, the Harao? So sa estaba siya I famagoon mo lokwe?
Oh, una halam I famagoon huha. Lo I'd arrive, 10 minutes early and leave 10 minutes late. Para gual.
Okay.
Kosaki u faisen, taimano sangan isti da utugi papa. Because that for me is the way to learn I have to see it in print as a second language speaker. Pues, you know, I diccionario, I nuevo denihagas, usa. And potlu senangin giliga, right? You post it at the house. Things you say in the bathroom, things you say in the kitchen.
Wow,
Taiguano. Yeah. Plus, it was easy because my kids were involved, and you know, they'll do whatever. You make it fun. Yeah, but it was fun for me. Yeah.
Hafo and hahasu no ifinu tomorrow and dumadankulu how.
Uhasu wanting to know it more. Uhasu we struggle. Uhasu you know, when they would speak to me, uatan yochubanda, right? Timalago munga ma kantusizo, right? Because I already assumed that I was going to be embarrassed, probably from an earlier, right? You know, we're very proud. My family is very proud. My parents, right? They raised us to be very proud. And, you know, we even had a store called CHamoru Mart in Dedido. So it was, I guess I think that was you know, I put so much pressure on myself that I wasn't open to it. I was just, I don't know how to speak it, so I'm going to avoid it at all costs. And then that evolved into, you know, I wanted to be able to speak CHamoru by the time I was 30. And time was running out. And so, you know, Hurrao came around, and I financed 36 años too. That's what got me getting further in this journey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pues gi ihiranaumu umedzaki finu tomorrow on your language learning journey. Hafa iminaput. Hafa iminakat.
And I, you know, guahatauta matatgi how, right? Lo sinano like nya, you know, maybe they just thought you were cute. Maybe they were laughing. Sinano, she really emphasizes the pronunciation of the T's and the glotas. And so, you know, maybe they were laughing at that. So when I give advice, if somebody wants to start, a good place to start is looking at all the common CHamoru words, zaguahati, and practice, practica, you know, instead of tatlu, it's tatlu. Instead of tau, it's tau. And then the glota, she always reminds me where the glotas go. You know, that there's a glota at the end of Sijus Masi. That there's a glota at the end of Totla. Because I would say Totla. So so that's an additional drive to improve it. So then that helped me, I guess, and then sound more authentic. Pues Pumada the laughing stopped. Okay. Yeah. I always say they stop laughing after 3 times. If they see that, you know, tipumara how, you're still going at it, but I guess, you know, you've sort of earned their respect. Yeah. But I think I've heard that that's a real big deterrent from our people trying to learn the language because they laugh at us, right? But not intentionally. It's just a byproduct of either you're cute or you're saying your T's wrong.
And maniolexia no ifino mutsamoru. Hafa, you know, hafa taimanu na unhula edzuna minakat.
Well, there weren't a lot. There weren't many. But I think I started to want to learn how to respond to that. So it would be adzu, help me, right? Turn it around. Hafa sinyo song and gifinota to respond to what they're doing, right? If they're not helping. Or tiutungo was common, you know, or I would learn how to say, how do you say this in CHamoru? Plus I would learn how to actually say that in CHamoru. Taimanun song and isti gifinota, right? And so already you're showing your commitment, right? And that you really want to learn. And sigya motna, munga pumara. Yeah.
Then swati how na guihi in inanamu biha di fion mo, no? Ilak mo inanamubiha ha tatsalani hao, ha pulani hao?
No, like as I said, they didn't speak to us. It was more of an observant, I was an observer to the language. And it's only when, my aunties and uncles would come visit. Zani ocho na banda, si tatao, mapoksay gilagu sa Merinu si tatanya. So pues Siña I maniatlo Siña fumino CHamoru. Gibandan tatao. Sinanahu, first speaker sinanaw.
Okay.
Dentori I maniatlunya.
Okay.
Pues gigima ti kuntutusi I manaynahu gigima. Tiuhungok. Even though my mom says they did, tiu hasu. So, that's my story, right? And so it was more of I would witness it, I would hear it, I would see it. It's almost like that place that you see and you hear, but you can't go there. Was Patgu, now that I'm here and I can at least, converse a little bit, it feels good. It's that connection, right, to your language that I've always wanted. Yeah. But I have a long way to go.
Yeah. Kita. Kita na dos.
Yeah.
Kita na dos. Pues ilak mo nagwaha famagoon mo, no? Kwanto na famagoon mo?
Tres famagoon ho.
Tres.
Yeah.
Pues komen adingan hamzo gi finut CHamoru.
Kwanto si gigima, or I give out commands.
Okay.
Question. Pues pagu I nanihu I maspatgun utatun upotlu giliga I sanangin. Sa ti una halam guihi hurao.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pues we just started, and in a sense it's like I commission, when they called, maybe that's my motivation to start all over. It's like I feel like the actively speaking and seeking it out has been in hibernation for like 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah, since Harao. Harao was maybe 06, 07, 08, so about 15 years ago.
Quanto años siya I famagoon mo?
I mas amko si 23 años.
Oh, wow.
Si Bella, then si Adam Tomas 20 años qui, si Camilla 15 años.
Hafa iba linya no I finut CHamoru?
It's the connection, pagwao. It's a whole other feeling, Kalan dos na planes. You're here speaking English, and that's what we're used to. When I speak CHamoru, it's a whole other platform. There's just so much feeling in it. It's being able to connect to a CHamoru in a CHamoru way, so to speak. Everybody is different in how much they respect it, want it, value it, So that's for me how I feel. Yeah. And where I'm at now, no one's laughing anymore, and I've practiced just that everyday chit chat. So it's very easy to just jump into a conversation now. And whereas CHamoru was a place that I could see and hear, but I couldn't go there. And now I'm here.
Pues di pago na tiempo ko guaha fi finut CHamoru siya di fion mo ko uusay finut CHamoru di lina la mo.
Granabay. Yeah, dependi. Lo si magay. I lobe tutuan pago sa un kumbida to guini. These little things that move you, right? And change. One phone call can change the rest of your life for a little bit or a lot of it. So yeah, it has definitely remotivated me. So esta 15 años have passed. Where could I have been? And then, siga.
Yeah.
Lo, life happens. And I usangani maisa put istina no programa malagu be fat nui managaigizo. Istaguizo, thoughts a filter, right? And it's just gonna document where I was here, at this point.
Edjiginay malagu ham na hujung asina programa sa guaha megay na tao gi itsalan umedza ki finu tomorrow. Lo guaha mampus minaka, guaha mampus minaput gi lina lota sa ti megay na fifinu tomorrow siya sa makat na ta usa I finu tomorrow gi
Sinyun hungog gi clinic,
Ungan.
gi lasadu, right?
Ungan.
Lo, it's not everywhere, right?
Gi business siya, gi tsetsu makat na na masok da I lugar no ifino tomorrow, pues ti hufat isek nan how, I'm not, I don't blame you. Ti baba na lugar na guide you how, you're not in a bad place. Guide you how you talent, san malakan now.
Yeah. If I'm a gonhu idos mas amko Siña makomprendi.
Okay.
Lo, I don't require them as much as I should to respond in Chamorro. Because for me, that's the thing. We meet so many people who can understand it but can't respond. So I need to put more pressure on myself, right, to require that they respond. Because that's the way they're going to learn. But no, I'm very proud of them. They, and I, amongst friends, can they speak the most Chamorro? Probably. You know what I mean? I'm proud of that. Yeah, but we're not going to stop.
Pues bago na ani hafa tatanga motna nui finu tomorrow. Hafa guini fimu nui finu tomorrow.
Pareo then antes, obsessed and at it, right? Malago to talo. Sa bonito I senienti. It's a good feeling. Yeah. U adzik amigahu tumunguk. I would choose girlfriends who would know, Siña fumino tomorrow. Kosaki tafangwentus, right? Pues utalaika I doko groups, right? Haji Siña fumino tomorrow. Become bida great, right? To exercise, to go to a party, to go here and there. So it was surrounding myself. And that's just gonna have to happen again, Yeah, because again, it's immersion. You got to be around it all the time.
Sino ang gagagahaw siya I mangat song mo? Haji malago na umedza ki fino tomorrow. Haji sinit kumantus pa ang and haji malago na lap maulik I fino ta tomorrow, no?
No, I tell them that they're going to hang out with me. No, that's a problema. They always, we're, it's always a good time when we're together, right? Mesea Haji. And I would, have Chamorro classes at home too. You just reminded me. Back in those days when there were those amigahu malago go further or even just to learn. So I would pass on what I've learned. Because there's a difference between, first language speakers and second language speakers. So I can speak for the second language speakers and how we need to learn. You know what I mean? We need to learn it unless it's immersion, which is not so easy to find or create. Because even if we tell our parents, speak to me in Chamorro only, how many of us have done that a million times in our lives, right? But we always get swayed away from that. It's natural. So there's a way. Once I started learning that the infix right? I would always say, okay, wait, remove that what is that root word? Then uatan gi dictionario, wasutugi papa. There's just a way that we learn. And necesita beli I linguajita gi print pagwao. And it has to be consistent, or it should be, because it's hard when we see our language written 6 different ways. We look at the mass books versus what's in the PDN versus what your auntie writes to you, right? Versus there's so many different variations that pagwao, it's like no wonder why it's even that harder. So immersion's just the easiest.
Pues hafa tamano na na at how talo.
Yutungo, itzi iwan ha. Dan malago be atin isti na programa. Haji pumalu. Managagi siya. Tay manu maedzak. Ifinota. Just to tafan apathy, experiences. Sempre po motivate zuk talo.
So hafa Siña ma'aduda how? What can help you? Giihi na mo.
I don't know anything different than what I already have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lo utunga gaigam zu guini. Sinyo agang how, what are the different programs or what's out there. Kosinyo uajuda, kosinyo si ihagahu ajuda hamzu, right? It's the exposure ha. It's as simple as that. Exposure. Taimano sinyo u na halam familia ko mas, right?
Pues hafa pinagat mo no nui man edaksia ifinutsamoro.
Besangani siya mga pumara, stay committed, usay dictionario, and if that works for you. Sulit class, and any creative way that you can surround yourself with speakers. If writing things down in your phone on a notebook helps you, figure out what helps you. How do you learn? And don't stop. Ask for help. I recommend to ask first speakers. That was my, any advice I give, it's what worked for me. So for me, I found different levels of speaking, and so I would go to first speakers first and then use my dictionary. I would try my best to write down what I thought they were saying, but it becomes fun, and there's so many aha moments where you're like, oh, that's what that meant. Yeah. It's not too late, I guess I would say. Do your research on who are good teachers. I also had to figure out who were good teachers, who really didn't fit my style, So you're modeling this, you're customizing this to you and what works for you and where you are. Everybody has a different experience. Some people heard it growing up, some people didn't, some people were spoken to, some weren't. So we're all different and we all learn differently, but it's out there and it can be done.
Malak na hinasok mo.
Sidos masi, hagulakwi.
Lo, pues malagon sa nasangani how migay mo ase, migay na si Zeus dan say na mo ase na sumaw na how paunggo na haani. Paunggo ta fan hutsum esti na programa. Migay mo ase lokwi no hamza siya na maatan esti na programin ti Atrasåsao malago zut na sangani hamzo hongehat na ti Atrasåsao Siña hat.
Siña hamzogui hafa malagomu vanedza kifino CHamoru na lola ipengamu nui famaguonmu vanedza kifino CHamoru ti Atrasåsao Siña hat.